Welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Join us for the latest in news, views, and conversation with community leaders. The Pulse of Spokane is brought to you in part by Homes for You and CW Crates and Pallets. Now, put your finger on the Pulse of Spokane.
It's March 19th. It's our oldest boy's 49th birthday. That might give you an idea how old I am. We've got a great lineup here on the Pulse of Spokane. First of all, my guest is going to be Bryan Davis with Davis Profit Consulting. There's a key word in there that he's going to talk about as well. And then second will be Cathy McMorris Rodgers, our 5th District Washington representative. And we're going to talk about the ABLE Act. You have to watch that. Kelli Thompson from the laundry company, the Thompson Laundry Company, will be here. And Sabrina Gonder with Get Healthy Sabrina. Next on the Pulse of Spokane.
The following is sponsored by our friends and community supporters at McNeese Wheeler Attorneys. McNeese Wheeler is a boutique law firm in Spokane, handling matters in both Washington and Idaho. Areas of law include business law, wills, trusts and estates, family law, personal injury and wrongful death, and real estate matters. For your full-service legal needs, contact McNeese Wheeler Attorneys.
I'm Nikki Butler, and I'm a regional manager for STCU. My lunch buddy is Nicole.
I'm Brandy Schloss. I'm a regional manager at STCU. My lunch buddy is Angelina. She's grown up with me. I've grown up with her. To see her graduate will be a lot of fun.
Brandy and I have been lunch buddies since the girls were in 2nd grade. It's great that STCU provides me with the opportunity to be part of Reach for the Future. We are committed to the children. We're committed to our community. I'm Nikki.
I'm Brandy.
And STCU is here for good.
This is River Ridge Frame Shop, called Frame It Today, where we can take your art, customize it, and get it ready to hang on the wall. Here at River Ridge Hardware, 2803 West Garland.
Well, Bryan Davis with Davis Profit Company. Consulting. Yes, and I mentioned that there was a key word in there because you and I have chatted, but the word profit is what I was talking about because why include that? I thought that was quite unique because we'll hear different people talk about, Adams Consulting or Davis Consulting or whatever, but Davis Profit Consulting, there's a method behind your madness, isn't there?
Yeah, a little bit. It stimulates conversation, that's for sure.
Yes.
That was part of it, but I think a lot of it is it just kind of cuts to the chase.
Okay.
I have a corporate background. I worked very diligently at getting net return to my clients.
Right.
So I just went right to it.
Well, let's take a little journey backwards, and before we get into what you're doing now, let's talk about your career because you've worked at different places, you've done different things. You've got a great business background. So what's involved?
Well, I started out in the parts business many years ago, just working a parts counter at a company called Al's Auto Supply, which was based out of Everett, Washington.
Ah, okay.
Some of our Washington folks are going to remember that.
Yes.
Also here in Spokane.
Right.
And spent many, many years with PACCAR and then some with AutoZone and a few other little stints along the way in corporate. And
as they say, you've been around,
I've been around a little bit, yeah.
Why did you start your business? What called you? Because sometimes it's a lot easier to work for somebody else and they worry about the cash flow and all the other things that we small business people face. But what called you out to take that on the road, if you will, and to go help others?
Well, I found that in the corporate world there was such great support. You had tools and cubicles full of people helping you out.
Right.
But I was always a corporate guy with an entrepreneurial spirit. And so as I began to deal more and more with the entrepreneurial folks, I discovered that they maybe didn't have quite the support that the big guys did.
Yes, yes.
And so I just found it was very rewarding and fun to go out and help some of those smaller companies, those smaller owners to achieve their dreams, and they needed some help.
Right. Okay, so what is it that Davis Profit Consulting does?
Well, it's in the name. I focus on getting return back to my clients. And I want to throw a caveat in there. Profit is not the same as greed.
No,
Okay.
I know. No,
Some
I
people
agree
have
with
a problem with that.
Yeah, well, someone shouldn't make a profit. How do you think you keep going?
Yeah.
How do you reinvest in people and in machinery or product and supplies and all that through your profit?
That's right. And companies need to grow, and those little guys, sometimes those entrepreneurs, they might have a great idea, but they weren't real strong maybe on the management side.
Yes. So a lot of what you do is really become, from the outside, working with somebody that owns his or her own business, kind of the general manager, and take on that role. Because you're right, we may be good in creating and designing and producing a widget of some sort, but we don't know about human relations. We don't know about cash flow, how to keep our costs down, and so forth. So describe how you work that.
Well, generally I'll start out with a conversation with a potential client, and inevitably I'm getting similar conversations that they're not getting their return. And so I do come in with a general manager point of view, and I start by looking at the sales and profit performance of that company. And that is going to create a rabbit trail.
Yes.
And you just follow the rabbit trails, and you start applying 101s, and you find out where they are somewhat deficient. And I like to say that everybody, smartest people in the world, we all have a blind spot.
Yes.
And so sometimes you just need an extra set of eyes, a general manager approach to come in and look at it. Is it inventory, logistics, loss prevention, human resources, personnel development? Where is that particular company and owner having a hard time, gaining traction? And I like to tell them, well, how's your business doing? And they'll say, well, we're good. And I'll say, well, is good enough?
Right. Right.
What do you want to do?
I want more sales. I want. And what do you find as the top one or two issues that a small business owner will have? Because again, they may have the entrepreneurial spirit and create something, but they lack some of the other areas. What are some of those?
Yeah, great question. Lately, what I've been seeing is lack of full implementation of their software.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
A software package for their particular industry, and it's not fully implemented, which leads to all kinds of challenges. And then obviously as an owner manager, if you do not have good quality reporting coming out of your software, you're running blind.
Why is that? Why would you have this software for your industry? And I think for the rest of us that don't have maybe an industry where it has specific software, it would be like learning Word but not really understanding it and taking full advantage of it. And so why are they not using that better and understanding it better?
Yeah, a lot of what I see, the technology is running faster than
than all of us
humans are running.
Yeah,
and a lot of times what happens, they'll roll out, implement a new package, and people are struggling via lack of training or whatever it is. People are struggling to get their arms around it, so they begin to circumvent pieces of that software.
It's just easier for me to do it this way, the way I've been doing it.
Yeah. Without understanding there's a sequential order to how you need to do things, and that creates havoc.
Yeah.
So that's been one of them. And then personnel management.
Okay.
It's always, people.
Right.
Your people are really your company, and we have a tendency to put on halos or put on blinders sometimes when it comes to our folks.
Yeah, I'm going to guess it's finding and keeping good employees when it comes down to it, isn't it? Yeah.
The trades right now are a good example. Very pressed, getting quality, trained, skilled people.
Is that part, my theory, I'm going to just say what my theory is, because in the last 15, 20 years, we have pushed the go to college, get the 4-year degree kind of thing, and kind of walk back and not emphasize the trades. Therefore, we don't have the number of homes we need and some of the products and so forth. And no wonder some of the manufacturing was shipped outside the country because it was much cheaper. We didn't have talented people to do it and so forth. And so is that part of it?
I think so. Yeah, you really see a lot of that in the trades. You hear that all the time.
Sure.
And I generally don't do a lot with the folks in the trades. I've got a few clients that are that work in the trades, but they just.
But the owners, you've worked with the owners who have that to face.
Yeah, the whole college thing. Go to college, and you're 60 years old, looking at retirement, still paying on your college debt.
I was going to say, you come out with a couple $100,000 in debt, while the kid that's gone into auto mechanics is making $80,000, $90,000 and no debt. Right. Yeah.
With his boat in the driveway. And,
exactly. And has the full weekends to go out and enjoy it. Talk about real quick what services you do now, and then how do people reach you?
Okay. Well, I have a website, davisprofitconsulting.com.
Okay.
I can be reached at a phone number. I'm more than happy to provide that here. 509-954-6429.
Okay.
And one of the things in the consulting world, they say you have to have a niche. You have to be in a particular niche. So one of the challenges that I occasionally run into is that where do you need the help? Because I am a general manager by trade, by background, and I like to go in there and grab whatever challenges you're having.
See the pieces of the big picture that they're not seeing, maybe, or help them with that.
And sometimes, I'll say this: a few other consultants and maybe some coaches have a tendency to focus on a smaller problem, and they're all tied together.
What do you do if you see something that isn't in your area of expertise? Do you have folks you can rely on to bring in?
I have many strategic partners.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what I
don't know.
That
makes a difference. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Pick up the phone and call for help.
Right. Once again, it's Davis Profit Consulting. And your phone number is?
509-954-6429.
All right. Bryan, thank you very much.
Thanks for the invitation.
All right. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with a little something we recorded earlier today with Cathy McMorris Rodgers.
The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Welcome to a new kind of talk show, Spokane Talks, where you find news, views, and conversations that include respect for opinions, facts, and diversity.
Spokane Talks, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Fox 28.
O'Brien Logistics would like to invite you to try our local and regional transportation services. With Sprinter vans, lift gates, hot-shot flatbeds, and expedited services, our people are ready to step in and help with your transportation needs. Our services are 24/7, 365, and we are trained and prepared to handle air cargo and Canadian shipments. Give us a call at 208-305-2311. Or visit our website at o'brienlogistics.net. That's OBRIEN logistics.net.
Well, welcome. And my guest today is Cathy McMorris Rodgers. Whew, long name.
It is.
Washington's 5th District Congresswoman. How are you doing?
Great.
I don't think I've seen you since the election.
Well, it's great to be here, Kent.
You've been back in D.C. You've been out here several times, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
One thing is of real interest today that I want to focus on, and that is the adjustment you've made to the ABLE Act. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you and I have something in common.
Yes.
Both of our first kids, because we have multiple kids in your family and mine, was Down syndrome.
Yes.
And so we've experienced that. Mine literally 49 years ago today. So happy birthday, Brad.
Yeah, happy birthday, Brad. Go 49ers.
Yeah, yes. Oh, he'll like that. Cole is how old?
He's almost 12, so he'll turn 12 April 29th.
Oh, okay. I knew it. Getting close. Okay, so you introduced this, the main bill, a year or so ago.
Yes.
And which is really a setup for what others can do around the country too.
That's right.
But tell me about what it does, and now what this adjustment will do.
Right. Well, we're continuing to build upon the important foundation of the ABLE Act.
Okay.
You know, and when Cole was born, nearly 12 years ago, and we got that news, and I remember when we first sat down with the team and they were walking us through what that meant.
Yes.
And it was a difficult time. I remember them in the course of that conversation telling Bryan and me not to put any assets in his name.
Yes.
Because it might disqualify him from a program moving forward. And
from disability and Social Security and those kinds of things.
Yes.
Been there, done that.
Right. And it seemed like the wrong message to be sending a new parent, right? Yeah. I'm excited to be a mom. I'm ready to sacrifice and give him every opportunity possible. And
you're dealing with some extra challenges, too.
Yes. Yeah, and they're saying don't put any assets in his name. And soon after that, I was introduced to the ABLE legislation. And the ABLE Act, we ended up working on it for 7 years, getting it signed into law, I think it was 2014 or so.
Yeah.
So the ABLE Act itself provides for tax-free savings accounts for individuals with disabilities. So it's like saving for college, saving for retirement, like an IRA or a 529 account. But in this case,
or a hobby or learning experience or something like that too. Right?
So this allows an individual with disabilities, people can set money aside for education, transportation, housing, those expenses later on in life.
Right.
Last Congress, I introduced Able to Work, ABLE financial planning, and then also the age adjustment for ABLE. We were able to get 2 of the 3 passed and signed into law. So now individuals with disability can go explore work. They can go get a part-time job, an internship, and put their earnings in an ABLE account so that it doesn't count against doesn't disqualify them from their benefits. One of the biggest fears is that they would lose their health insurance.
Yes.
And it's a barrier to actually going and working. You know, they're so fearful of losing.
Where's the advantage of it if you're going to lose it?
Yes.
I mean,
so the ABLE account allows an individual to now put that money into their ABLE account. So that's a real positive. The city of Spokane has announced employment opportunities for those with disabilities, and they talk about the ABLE account being a great way to introduce those opportunities for individuals so that they can go explore work. And you can just see how a paycheck is so much more than or a job is so much more than a paycheck.
It is.
Right?
It
is. It gives you purpose and dignity. So I'm really excited about what this means. This Congress, I've introduced legislation to keep building upon the ABLE Act. We had to cut it off at age 26.
Okay.
So we want to lift that. This is the age adjustment to open it up even for more individuals with disabilities so that they could open this account and start having more opportunities to live more self-sufficient, independent lives.
And I'll tell you, Brad has worked way in the past at McDonald's. He worked at Super One for about 18 years. He's up at the Lincoln and 14th Avenue Rosars on Thursdays and Fridays for a couple hours. And he looks forward to doing that, and that's an important part in his life. Yes, he gets $35 or $40, but it's more than the dollars. It's the ability to give back and to have a place to go and so forth. Yeah. And if you need to put some dollars away for classes or whatever it may be, now you can do it without being taxed and everything else that comes along.
Yes.
Really important.
It has been addressing the barriers to work for those with disabilities is the top priority.
Absolutely. Are others joining on and signing on to the bill?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so we need to keep spreading the word and encouraging Republicans and Democrats to join in building on the ABLE Act.
This is not a partisan bill.
It is not.
By any stretch of the imagination.
When the ABLE Act was passed and signed into law, it had more co-sponsors than any piece of legislation that year in the House and the Senate. It took us 7 years to get it done. But by having to work those 7 years, it was building support.
Yes.
And now able accounts, Washington State has opened able accounts now. They just opened the first able accounts last July.
Okay.
So every state is having to go ahead and open or make available these able accounts to individuals. There's some states that make them available to everybody. But Washington State now has their own version of an able account. And they are traveling around the state and making individuals with disabilities aware that this is available to them.
Good. It's good to see the public and our legislators open up and want to help these folks by letting them help themselves. And that's what it's all about. So that they become normal citizens.
Yes.
And they really are in so many ways, right?
Well, we need to change the focus. Instead of so focused on having a disability, we as a culture need to focus and celebrate the ability.
Absolutely.
Celebrate the purpose and the dignity of this individual and what they can contribute, instead of putting them aside and saying, well, I'm sorry you have this disability.
Yeah.
Focus on the ability. And they want to be seen for their ability. They want to be a part of a business or a organization where they can be a
Kathy,
a contributing
let's get
member.
it done, okay?
Okay.
All right? When do you think it'll become before a vote and all that? Are we talking months down the road?
It will be months.
Okay.
This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
We are actively seeking support in the House and the Senate. This is legislation that we've introduced in the past, and we're going to keep building on it.
Keep working on it, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Tomorrow we'll talk about meeting with folks in the community and so forth, right?
Yes.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Super.
To help you be safe, Washington state law requires you to call 811 2 full business days before you plan, for example, to dig, drill, plow, pull from, or pound anything into the ground. Be prepared to provide the operator with the correct address, cross street, and a description of your work. You must mark the dig area with white paint. The operator will inform you of the utilities notified of your impending excavation. Wait for all their marks. Be safe and dig with care.
The economy is getting stronger, banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Well, my guest now is Kelli Thompson with the Thompson Laundry Company. Kelli, welcome. How are you today?
I'm good. How
Good.
are you?
You have, before we get into what the Thompson Laundry Company is, you have quite an entrepreneurial finance background, don't you? Yes. In fact, you have a name in common with someone who's been on our program. Is it Tim Mitrovich? Mitrovich.
Right.
Did you work with him?
I did at 10 Capital.
Yeah, yeah. And you were the one that kind of egged him on to do the podcast that he's out there doing all the time now, isn't he?
Yes, yeah. I was part of that, yeah.
Why? How long? And give us a little, for a minute or so, your background in the financial world, because that's where you were for a number of years.
Well, I started back in 1998 and was brand new and partnered with my father, Kurt Orton.
Okay.
And that was a time when you could just buy a stock and just watch it go up.
Yes.
And then we saw all the stocks, then they went down. So
that's not supposed to happen, is it?
So I lived through lots of the ups and downs from 98 until 2016. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And you survived it?
I survived it. It was
now,
a great learning experience.
All of a sudden comes along an opportunity to do something a little different. What led you from the financial world into owning your own business?
Well, I've always wanted to own my own business.
Okay.
And always was, daydreaming on what that could be.
Yes,
and,
yes.
because there's just so many ideas out there, and I love everything from HR to marketing to management.
And when you own your own business, you get to do it all, don't you?
Exactly. And so my husband we had purchased our first laundromat at 5 Mile Wash and Dry.
Okay.
And he was doing that. That was his full-time job while I worked at 10 Capital.
Was he really cleaning up?
Yes.
Oh, bad joke. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't have to agree. Gee, be nice to the host. I'm kidding you.
So the opportunity came about a couple of years after that, and we had the opportunity to buy another laundromat and a dry cleaner. Mm-hmm. And knowing that was going to take us from 1 to then 3, I thought, I don't know if he's going to need some help.
Yes.
And here's my opportunity to kind of dive in and be a business owner.
Yeah.
So.
And you're in my neighborhood. On the South Hill, aren't you?
I'm in 3 neighborhoods. Yeah, I'm in South Hill, right next to Huckleberry's.
Right.
And that's our, it's a full-service, self-service laundromat, so you can drop off your dry cleaning, you can drop off your laundry, and you can do it yourself.
You got it covered. And one of the things that you mentioned to me before was a special service that you have. Do you have it at all your sites or just on the South Hill?
So we have a VIP Express service, and that stemmed from those times when people are just like, oh, I got to go, run all these errands. I don't have time to stand in line. And, we have lines of people and their bags of clothes, and I just want to drop it off, and I just want to get out of here.
I don't want to stand in line for 3 hours.
Exactly. So we created a VIP Express program where it's pretty simple. We have specialized launder bags. Just stick your clothes in there, add a little note, and we know who you are. You just drop it off, and you say, see you when it's ready.
Nice.
And then we clean and care for the clothing, give you a quick text message saying your clothes are ready.
Oh, nice.
Come on in, pick it up, and then we just pay by credit card once a month and just do automatic
Well, that
billing.
just makes it so easy.
Right.
Because
really easy.
we all have those lists that are about 3 or 4 things we've got to do, and we're doing it on the way to work or the way home, and one place or another, we need to be there quickly, either to work in the morning or home, because the spouse is wondering, where are you, right?
Yeah. And we have quite a few customers that come in frequently, like once a week, multiple times during the month, and so that just hopefully cuts back on their wait time.
I always have to ask this, and you heard me ask to the previous guest, what are the 2 or 3 biggest challenges to owning your own business?
I would think just people.
Yeah.
Just finding the right people.
Yeah. And keeping them.
Yeah. But that's a
How
challenge.
difficult is that today?
Well, it's
How difficult have you found?
It's challenging. A lot of our jobs are entry level. We had great employees that have been in high school.
Right.
And people who are just learning new skills, and so it's you always have that training period.
Yes.
And in our business, there's a lot to learn.
Yes.
When it comes to cleaning clothing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of training that goes in, and hopefully once you train them, that they stick around.
But you said, I think it's at the South Hill facility, you've got a great person who manages it and so forth and oversees the training and so forth. Yeah, that's important, isn't it, to have that person, because you can't be on all 3 sites all day long, every day, right?
Yeah, as an owner, it's really important to not get into the nitty-gritty details, to be a big picture, to always see what new things can we do, what ways can we grow our business. I think that's important to have that time to think through those things.
Let's tell people where you are, because I'm going to start coming there on the South Hill, okay? Because I used to go there when it was Susie's, I think.
Right.
Up until, a couple of years ago when you bought it?
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then I saw the sign disappear, and I was going other directions and so forth, but now it's on my way to work and on my way back.
Yes.
So it's really convenient.
And so now that it's spring, finally.
Yes. I hear that. Not until tomorrow, though, Kelly.
But now this is when we get really busy with people dropping off their comforters. Cleaning all those heavy bedding.
To put away for the...
Winter coats, bring them in. You don't want them, you don't want to store away dirty clothes. You just want to get them nice and fresh, so next season you can start fresh. So we have our South Hill Wash and Dry, which is next to Huckleberry's on 10th and Monroe.
Right, great location. I love it.
We have our other laundromat is at 5 Mile. right at the end of at the 5 Mile Shopping Center at the opposite end.
Oh, okay, okay.
And that's 5 Mile Washington
On the
Drive.
west end of the.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, opposite end, with next to the big snow berm right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, welcome to go driving anywhere in Spokane right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that's a full service and a self-service laundromat too. So you
Okay.
can drop off your dry cleaning there as well.
Okay.
And then our dry cleaner is out on Pines.
Okay.
And it's Careful Cleaners.
Okay. Is it just dry cleaning there?
It's dry cleaning, but because we have our 3 locations, you could
You
drop
can move-
off.
You can move things around.
Right. You could
Yeah.
drop off your laundry.
Which basically
loads of
everybody's doing today. If you
Right.
drop off at one site, it often
and we'll take it
depending
and,
on
and wash it at a different location.
Wow, that's great. You have a website.
ThompsonLaundryCompany.com.
Oh, that's original. Okay, and a phone number? Is there a one number or all three?
There's 3 phone numbers.
Okay, so look it up on the website, right?
Yes, look
okay.
it up on the website. Everything, all our details are on there.
Okay, so Kelly, I've got to ask, did you survive this?
I did.
You did? Okay. All right. Kelly, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope to see you at the South Hill one of these times.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be there soon.
I will see your dirty clothes there.
Yeah, We're going to hang out my dirty laundry, right? Oh, we're in trouble there. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Sabrina Gonder with Get Healthy with Sabrina right after this.
This is River Ridge Frame Shop, called Frame It Today, where we can take your art, customize it, and get it ready to hang on the wall. Here at River Ridge Hardware, 2803 West Garland.
Welcome to Tom Sawyer Country Coffee.
Tom Sawyer Country Coffee only roasts the finest organic coffee for our signature blends. Enjoy a cup at our coffee shop and local businesses and organizations across the region.
I'm Tom Sawyer, and we choose the Pacific Northwest.
Welcome to a new kind of talk show, Spokane Talks, where you find news, views, and conversations that include respect for opinions, facts, and diversity.
Spokane Talks, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Fox 28.
Well, get healthy with Sabrina, because Sabrina, I can't even get it right, okay, is here. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
What do you mean by get healthy with
That's a great
Sabrina?
question.
Yes.
And it's different
I thought
for
it was.
everybody.
Yeah.
Of course. So getting healthy is different for every person.
I'm going to have you scoot
out
just
there.
forward
Sure.
a little bit.
Sure.
Yes.
So for one person, it could be eating more fruits and vegetables. For another person, it could be getting more sleep. For someone else, it might be managing
so I'm
their
2 of
stress.
2. Okay, I'm 3 of 3. Okay.
There you go. So, it's on and on. It could be finding happiness in their current job or finding a job that makes them happy.
I found that.
Good.
That's
yes.
this. That's
and you're
this.
great at what you
yeah.
do.
Well, and it's retirement, so it's not a
Wonderful.
job. It's fun.
And that's
Yeah.
how it should be, right?
Yes.
So 70% or more of people are unhappy in what they're doing.
That's true. I have a friend of mine who told me about 6 months ago that last year a friend of his was going to retire because he was reaching that 65, 68 range, okay, just a couple years behind me. And he was going to retire. He had taken over his dad's CPA firm, made good money, okay, but told my friend Tom, I've never enjoyed a day in my life. And I'm going, we only get one chance at this. And if you're in a job that you don't like, especially now with the job market and so forth, it's a time to explore other things.
Absolutely.
It really is.
It really is, truly.
And I'm not so sure 3 or 4 years ago you take the chance because of the number of available jobs and so forth. But there's more opportunity, I think, now. And so that is important, isn't it?
It is.
To our health. It really is.
Absolutely. And technology allows for more opportunity than ever before. So when I decided to go into this about 7 years ago, I had not been an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So that was a big
leap.
leap
You jumped in with both feet, didn't you?
And become a solopreneur and to help people change their lives. And that's, food is very touchy. People have history around food, and they're protective around food, and so that
and a waste around food.
And a waste around food. That's right. So it's an interesting topic to discover with people, and again, it isn't always about the food.
No. It really encompasses. It can't really be one thing, can it? What do you focus on the most? And you do individual coaching, you work with corporate partners and so forth. Talk a little bit about that, because I think it's fascinating.
It is. So I just came from Kaiser Aluminum. I do corporate wellness there with a company called Real Work Life. And Dr. Kelli Pearson owns that. And so it's just a pleasure to contract with her to work with individuals. And so I do it in a group dynamic, and then I also do it one-on-one at that location. And then I also have my practice in her clinic, which is Pearson & Weary Chiropractic. So I'm able to meet with clients there one-on-one. So we close the door, and honestly, a lot of times I give a lot of tissue out, because there's some really sensitive things that will come up for people that they aren't expecting to experience when they meet with me.
Like what? Without giving, you're not going to talk about any one person.
Not anybody in particular. There can be a lot of pain and a lot of trauma and a lot of emotions that are around the reason that people are eating, the reason people aren't sleeping, the reason they're staying in that job, the reason they're staying in that relationship. So those are some of the prime examples that come up very frequently for people.
So you spend some time up front with them learning about all that, and is that one session or a couple of sessions usually?
The beginning session gives me the most information. And so before
But you pick up things as you go through, don't you?
Yeah. And sometimes it's what's not said.
So
I can work with folks over the phone, but I really prefer the face-to-face because you can read the body language, the tone,
I better be good.
all of that comes out. So a lot of what doesn't get said can be a clue to what's happening. I've also studied intrinsic coaching, and that's a really interesting way to find out what people are wanting. And if you think about it, most people have really never been asked what they want, or for many, many, many years, nobody's asked them, what do you want?
Because we've been living our lives. We've been going to work. We've been taking care of family. We've been earning a living and all the other things. What are some of the, when you ask them, what are some of their responses? What do they really want?
A lot of times it's I wasn't prepared for that question.
No. Good. You make them think.
Absolutely. Then you give them some time to think and to breathe, because we go. And like the other guests have all shared how busy life is. And so something will come up. Something will come up for them, whether it's, I want to eat more fruits and vegetables, I want to start walking, I want to get a full night's sleep. Imagine that, right?
Exactly.
I want to go on a date with my spouse. I want to, these things, and nothing's too small.
Yeah, because again, daily life gets in the way.
It does.
It's just, it really does. You think about all of our lives, and I don't care what kind of job you do or don't have, and so forth. We just have so many things on our to-do list, don't we?
We do. And
really do.
April is Stress Awareness Month. So I also work heavily with helping people around stress mastery, not just stress, lessening stress, but really mastering the art of stress, because that's what you might hear it as busy or some other word that people use, but it really is stress. They're very stressed out.
How come the month starts with April Fools?
That's a good question.
I thought so too. We'll give you time to think about it. No, I'm just kidding. Sabrina, how can people reach you? Because you've got we don't have the time to go through all of it, but you've got some great background and are helping a lot of people. How can they reach out to you?
Absolutely. They can reach me at gethealthywithsabrina.com or 509-270-2665.
All right, great. Thank you for what you're doing, and thanks.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks. And I noticed as you were talking about all those issues, you kept looking at me. Okay, like here's a good example. Thanks, Sabrina.
Call me.
I'll call you. Yeah. Thanks for watching today. I hope you have a great day. Do you know what tomorrow is? It's the first day of spring. We'll see you then.
The Pulse of Spokane is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksMedia.com, which is solely responsible for its content. The Pulse of Spokane is brought to you in part by Homes for You and CW Crates and Pallets. Ask Kent a question, recommend a guest, or hear this program again on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com.